Sorry for the video of the day. I'm your host, Greg. Welcome. I'm sitting in Salem, Missouri, waiting to get loaded. I'm a little crooked in the dock. Hopefully they'll load me anyway. He's already locked me out, so I can't go anywhere. For those of you who don't know what I mean, locked out, I take off the supply line for my trailer here, and you take off the handle, and then they come out and they put a piece over it that locks into place. So you can't go anywhere until they come and take that off there. I mean, the only thing I could do is drop the trailer. That's the only way I get out of here. Anyway, all intents and purposes, if it was an emergency and that building was on fire, this truck's got enough power. I could drag it. I could drag it out of the way. But anyway, that's not the subject of today's video. Subject of today's video is minimum wage. Been hearing a lot about it lately. Minimum wage. They want minimum wage up to, 15, 18 bucks an hour. 15 to 18 bucks an hour. The only time I ever made anything even close to that was when I was working for General Motors. $15 to $18 an hour. Are you freaking kidding me? I worked at Wendy's when I was in college. And that was minimum wage. But you had an opportunity. It wasn't for a year or so after I worked there that you started getting the opportunities to get raises. And you see, it's like this, folks. If you're on minimum wage, you can't live like a king. Okay? When I was in college, I was living at home. I still had bills. I had to pay my own car insurance. My dad wasn't going to pay that, God forbid. Okay? It's to the point where he was starting to getting ready to charge me rent. But I had to make that minimum wage stretch as far as I could, even living at home. When I got out on my own, I was making a little more than minimum wage. But I made it work. I found a way to make it work. And the problem is, with these people who want the minimum wage up, in my opinion, most of them are lazy. Okay? I know people that work 2 minimum wage jobs just to make ends meet. Okay? Now, you say, well, Greg, you can't live on what minimum wage is giving you. You're not supposed to live on minimum wage. Minimum wage is supposed to be so that you can start out and you can get going and you can build and you can get experience to get to where you want to go. So, let's say you want to own your own chain of fast food restaurants. So, you go and get a job at McDonald's breaking minimum wage. Okay? You work hard at that job. You move up through the ranks. One day, you can own your own McDonald's. I bet even McDonald's will tell you that. I don't know because I've never worked there. But let me give you a scenario. Okay? You're making $1.29. Excuse me. You're making, I forgot how it went now. Okay, I paused it to go look this up. All right, so let's say you're making $1.23 an hour. Milk is $1 a gallon. Okay? You can afford a gallon of milk. Well, no, you can't. Because after taxes, you're going to be making less than $1. Okay? Now, let's say we bump the minimum wage up to $18.45. Okay? Now, you've got extra money. That's a good thing, right? Well, here's the deal. Now, the manufacturers that make that milk have got to raise the cost of the product so they can pay their employees, their minimum wage employees, the $18.45 an hour. Okay? So now, milk is at $15 a gallon. Okay? But you're making $18.45 an hour, so you can still afford it, right? Wrong. Because now, at that 1845, you're in a higher tax bracket. Okay? So after taxes, that 1845 an hour is now $13.10. And a gallon of milk is $15. You can't afford it. Folks, the whole point is that the only one that wins if you raise the minimum wage is the government. Okay? The government is the only one that wins here. Okay? You get more money, but the problem is the manufacturers of these products have got to raise their prices to pay their employee for making the stuff. Okay? So if you double the minimum wage, then you're pretty much going to double the cost of the products that you buy every day. Because these employers can no longer hire, I'm trying to find a good light, they can no longer hire somebody at minimum wage and pay them and keep the prices of their products low. Okay? A minimum wage job is just that, minimum. Okay? If you want maximum wage, you got to work your way up there. Okay? Too often, people today think things should be just handed to them. I've said this before. Things are not free. There's no such thing as free. Okay? And you say, well, you know what, Greg? Just a month ago here, I got a bunch of free presents. Christmas. Really? They were free? They were free to you, maybe. But they weren't free. Somebody bought those presents. Somebody paid out the cash. Not free. Okay? For example, this truck, I don't put fuel in it. I mean, I put fuel in it, but I don't pay for it. It's free, right? I don't pay for it. No. Because my boss pays for it. Somebody pays for everything. Nothing is free. Okay? When your kid goes to school and he gets free lunch, okay, at school, guess what? The taxpayers in your school district are paying for that free lunch. It's not free. It's free to you, but it's not free. Somebody has to pay for it. Okay? And this is where raising minimum wage isn't going to do any good. Especially jumping, large amounts like it is. Okay? To pay you more money, they got to have more money. Okay? And that is something that I've always gone with. Okay? If the company can make more money, then I can make more money. Okay? If you get into a job, even if you start at minimum wage, if you get into a job, you can work your way up in that job. Maybe not at that particular place. So you might start the job over here, and you go up a little bit. And you may have to leave here and go over here in order to get the advancement to go up higher. And then maybe come over here to go up higher yet. And then back over here to get up to the rest of the way. Okay? You can get there, but you got to work at it. All right? This ain't about sitting on my butt going, oh, I want to watch Netflix and I can't afford it. I want a TV, a 70-inch TV, which I can never figure out why somebody would need a 70-inch TV. I still have not figured that out. Okay? Why do you need a TV as big as my windshield? I don't get it. All right? I want my 70-inch TV now, but you're on minimum wage. You can't afford a 70-inch TV. I was on minimum wage, as I said at one time. I had to work my way up. Okay? You start at minimum wage and you work your way up. Minimum wage is to give you experience. Okay? So you might work in a restaurant at minimum wage and decide, you know what? I can't stand working in a restaurant. And you might go to Walmart working at minimum wage. You know what? I can't stand working here either. So you go somewhere else. You work at minimum wage till you find out what it is you want to do and what it is that you enjoy doing. Because basically, folks, if you're not enjoying your job, you're doing the wrong job. Or else you've been doing your job so long that it's driving you crazy. That's my case. I love my job. Okay, honestly, I love truck driving, but the camaraderie that used to be there in trucking is no longer there. Okay, shippers, receivers, they don't care about you. Okay? All they care about is themselves. Four-wheelers on the road, they don't even want you there. Okay? But they're glad when their shelves in the store are filled. We ended this argument yesterday when I was at my first stop. We were a bunch of drivers were out talking about it. But anyway, that's my feelings on minimum wage. Okay? You can't jump minimum wage that high. The products are going to go with it. Cost of living is going to go up, and you're still going to be stuck in the basement until you work your way back up. And that's the bottom line. And not because Stone Cold said so either. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, get it put out for you. They haven't started loading me, which is kind of a shocker. Usually they're right on top loading me. It's been 20 minutes. So, in any event, I'm going to wrap this up and get this put on here. Remember, like, comment, share this video. If you're on YouTube, down below, there's a subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the little bell, and it'll ring and let you know whenever I post a video, which seemingly hasn't been a lot lately. I just haven't been up for it. But today I was. So, I'm up for it. So, until next time, this is your host of the video of the day, Greg the Crazy Trucker, saying, see ya!